Take a look today at the Princeton Offense from the University of Alabama Huntsville and Coach John Shulman. He just took a Division I job at Central Arkansas, but did a great job here with the Division II power. Here you're going to see a forwards out entry that flows into shuffle. You'll see the confusion caused here between the two defenders guarding the shuffle screen leads to a wide open layup. I've said it in the past, probably 90% of my go-to call as a head coach was to go to shuffle, whether we scored out of the shuffle cut, whether we scored out of the slip, the three-pointer, or flowed into the pick and roll. So here we're going to get to point away. So we enter to the pinch post spot. He's extended out beyond the three-point line. The point man catches the ball. The point guard goes away. The individual receiving the screen has rejected the screen, which typically will then set up the pick and roll action, the dribble handoff, or the other backdoor. I love the twitch of movement here to set up the second backdoor here. And then we reject. I call that the burn. The burn is the backdoor cut, so we get a double burn there and a great pass. Here's the shuffle action again. This time the action's rejected. You'll see that if the ball was swung to the other wing, that would have flown into shuffle, which we saw in the first clip. Here it is a reject call and brought back into this DHO action. Jokic and Murray get into this action a lot. I think it's floated around kind of the spoonless action. It's not flowed into the same way that some of the spoonless action typically is, but a similar action here of where the handoff occurs, the dribble handoff action, and creating this advantage here. So the on-ball defender is now trailing. The big has to help. The Chargers have created a 2-on-1 advantage here. Pass right over the top for the easy score. Here we're going to go point over. I always gave this a thumbs down call. The read is just for this point guard. Again, his defender has switched onto the big for some reason, so he is no longer defending the guard at all, which means he is not between the guard and the hoop, which triggers the slip, the backdoor. Here we'll go forwards out. Again, this just creates action, move sides of the floor. Here we got a great example of throwing guys open. So the action, they're in that point over, thumbs down action again. It's rejected and flowed to the other side. So that's going to trigger this 45 cut, this burn cut backdoor. So you can either throw that pass, and if not, you would just flow to the corner into the DHO and get into the second action. This is probably one of the best passes you'll ever see. It's incredible. Here we go, 5 out to this burn cut, so we kind of catch more in the middle of the floor. He's looking at this 45, this burn. Again, if it's not there, then we flow into the second action, which is the dribble handoff on the other side. But Coach Shulman taught his guys really well to throw guys open, as you can see in these videos. Just picking the defense apart by throwing guys open. There's a great setup there for that burn cut. We'll go point over, defender jumps. Watch the corner man set the screen up. Look at the stance that he's in right now. He looks like a wide receiver making his first move off the line. He plants hard on that outside foot, like he could get into the zoom action over the top, or he could curl it. His defender just jumps his hips high a little bit, loses position between the offensive player and the hoop, which triggers an easy backdoor pass for a score. So burn this overplay. Again, this is when they would flow into the zoom action. That defender's anticipating that action. That's why I love the Princeton offense so much. It is all read and react, if taught correctly. It is one action, flowing to the next action, reading how the defense is playing you. Are they sagging? There's a read. Are they overplaying? There's a read. And it just becomes repetition for your offensive players to understand what these reads are. Getting them in game-like situations in practice, reviewing film with them, showing them. Here we got a flare screen and a slip, so there's no contact actually made, and the corner offensive player who's setting this flare recognizes there's an open lane to the hoop, drops a bounce pass. Here, defender not between you and the hoop again. Or you see the back of his head. That's another cue that I've heard and is popular and that I've used in the past. You see the back of the defender's head. You see his numbers. I've tried to simplify it a little bit by just saying if you look at the hoop and he's not between you and the hoop, then go backdoor. And these guys are great passers. There's a little no-look pass there. You have to rep passing. That's an under. I was listening to a podcast the other day on slapping glass about repping passing. Here's the shuffle action again. Talk about throwing guys open. Talking about how the European teams just rep passing, and how much passing are we repping, and it's something that I've tried to mix in with my players more. I got into a conversation with Coach Shulman on LinkedIn actually, and we started talking about screening action. And he told me to come back and watch some of their ball screen stuff. So I did that, and they picked opponents apart in some of their ball screen action, getting to multiple ball screens in one possession at times. I kind of called this a point fist action where you brush through and then the big comes up and sets a screen for the point guard. So the advantage is created here. There's a drop coverage, which becomes a 2-on-1. The guard does a good job playing off 2 feet here, has patience, he's under control, drops a bounce pass for his big man to finish at the rim. These are great teaching points if you have a guard that's good in the pick and roll or you're trying to improve your guard in the pick and roll. So here you're going to get the hedge. So there's 2 on the ball. He does a slight retreat dribble to create some space. Throws just a phenomenal pass over the top with some touch on it for his man to finish, where only his guy could catch. So here we got a hedge. There's 2 on the ball again. A retreat dribble. Can you teach your players to retreat? That's one thing I learned from one of my mentors, Phil Beckner. He was, I was at one of his clinics once, and he just was harping on can your players retreat? Can they retreat dribble when they see pressure? Can they retreat, keep their posture, their chin and chest up? Can they retreat and continue to see the floor? This was a great example here of a retreat, creating some space, and then being able to drop off the pass for the score. Here we'll look at the ball handler drives and scores out of the pick and roll. So he's still got forwards out, move the defense. We're flowing. Okay, first action's not there. We're going to flow into the ball screen here, which there's a reject, which created a switch, some confusion. I think they were going to switch if the ball screen was used. The reject then created a switch, but added some additional confusion there. Great hesitation dribble. This is playing high to low. You got to teach your players player development stuff early in practice, or if they're working with a coach outside of practice. Are they being taught how to play at different heights? So he lifts his shoulders, he lifts his eyes, the defender's up on his toes. He's now beat. We drop, we go by him with some force. We get our shoulder by his hip, by his right hip in this instance, and goes in with an inside hand finish for the score. It was too late for help to get there. If help does come, it's kick out for the 3. I was also listening to another Slap and Glass podcast, and they talked about this hot stove action. So there's not really a true screen. 2 hands are out, hip is touched, and then we're out early, and it creates a ton of confusion. The defender thinks he's going to get screened, the on-ball defender. He starts anticipating contact. The big isn't really in a position to help that quickly. He's still trying to play between 2, and defender is beat, play off 2 feet, get a score. Here, attack the drop. Got a 2-on-1. Defense does a pretty good job here, but now we essentially have 2 feet in the paint. That's a score. There's some great footwork there. Again, something you should be repping early practice or after practice. Here's a flat screen, so there's no real true screen here. He gets out early after tapping on the shoulder. Okay, the big does a decent job getting back here. 55 clears the corner. We're going to flow into the second action. There's just a true go screen, comes and taps him on the hip and gets out. Straight down the lane for the layup. Some good early movement, and then we attack the switch. Pretty good job by the big staying down. Here's this hot stove again, 2 hands on, and he's immediately out. Watch the on-ball defender. He's beat. Right there, he's beat. It's just a walk-in layup. Kick the nail help here. Flow into the next action. Again, no real true screen. Get all the way to the rim. So they're looking for the burn here. Not there. Flow to the second action. No advantage created. Here comes an on-ball screen. There's a switch. Here comes a third action. Another screen. How many times can a defense defend and communicate through a ball screen in one possession? There's a growth screen, quick tap. On-ball defender pauses for a half a second. Can't recover. Forwards out, change sides of the floor. Here's this boomerang right back to the guard who receives a screen. This allows him to catch a little bit on a stampede, get ahead of steam. He's won the battle right here. It's a phenomenal screen. The defense is beat. It's going to turn into a 2-on-1. If corner help comes, there's a kick for a wide open 3. Draws a foul. Here we'll look at 3-pointers out of the pick and roll. So here's some teaching points for your shooters as well, what to do. So we're playing off 2 feet. There's a shake up on the opposite side. Catch and shot ready. Have to teach our guys to shake up. Low man weak is going to be the tag. We have to shake up to get into an open spot on the floor and be ready to shoot. On ball. Now we get a kick where the help came from. So corner help, low man comes. Now our wing defender is playing between 2. So he's anticipating here. He's leaning towards the corner man. So this player, this guard that is in the paint, makes a phenomenal decision to kick. You see where he was going immediately to the corner. That's something that they've repped defensively. Where help comes from, you rotate to the corner. Next man takes the next pass when it's kicked up to the wing. So the ball handler here just goes directly to the wing. It's not enough time to help. Here we just shoot the under. So we go under the screen, get caught. Be ready to shoot that. Drag out the pick and roll a little bit here. Snaps back to the shake up. Again, he's kicking to where help's playing from. Help's playing from the weak side of the floor, which it should be. Can your guard read that and punish the help defense? Here, right back to the guard. He's got a head of steam in the stampede. Creates a switch. And we got corner lift here. So we go brush action to point fist. There's no real true screen. Strong side help is a corner 3 every single time. Cannot help from strong side corner. Thanks for tuning in to this University of Alabama Huntsville Princeton offense and also a look at their pick and roll offense. Hope you took something away from today. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video. Looking forward to continuing to talk Princeton offense and growing the game.